towards children specifically, but it has to do with a full-blown man dressing like a woman. Why can't he read to the
reading are about gay families?
Why can't he read to them normal clothes?
The controversy is who's reading it, not the books. The controversy is who's reading it and the structure of the environment.
By having these story hours that lets the kids know that their families are okay.
No, that's not what we believe. You're telling us what we believe. It's not true.
I pay taxes. I have rights.
You're not going to listen to our argument. You just tell us what you think we believe.
You're going Nazi Germany.
What is taxes and rights?
Germany? Are you fucking kidding me right now?
That's where they go every time. Poe's law in 3, 2, 1.
Pretty sure Nazi Germany was demolished in 1945.
Do you know what Hitler? What?
Try to get one of your hate rallies when those rights got passed.
Hate rallies? What hate rallies?
Hate rallies.
Please tell me what date that was and who it was. I want to know.
Did you know Drag Queen Story Hour is intended to interrogate the norms of society and the family structure?
You're not. What?
Yeah, so what? It's written in an academic paper that one of the founders published.
I'm sorry, would you guys take a look across the street at what's calling us nuts?
Right.
There's an academic paper written by one of the founders of Drag Queen Story Hour where they explain the intent of the movement. Yeah, I can send you a link. I have excerpts, I have breakdowns, I have a lot of quotations. I'm ready to sit down and have a dialogue, no matter how difficult, about this and actually let people understand what I believe, instead of just being told I'm full of hate over and over. Yeah, I don't care what you think if you're going to tell me to shut up. You're not going to do anything to me, dude.
You ain't changing no minds over here. You ain't helping nothing. You're just looking dumb as shit. Bunch of pussies out here. Fuck all you.
You don't have an option here.
Do something about it.
I'm going to speak on my American soul. I will speak, and you will do nothing to stop me. There's nothing you can do to stop me. You can beat me up and down the street, and I will not stop. I will be back. I will be back tomorrow. I will be back the next day. And if you put me in the hospital, I will get out, and I will come back the day after that.
Fucking mouth forever. Yeah.
I will explain that Drag Queen Story Hour intends to queer children.
No one wants to
I appreciate what you're saying. I don't.
No, you don't appreciate what I'm saying. You know what? Why don't you talk to the man who approached me? Man.
No, listen, I was telling him, I appreciate what you're saying, but I was going to tell him to chill out. I don't want you to be hurt. I don't want you to be hurt.
It's irrelevant.
Yes, it is. It's very, I don't want to.
You're not willing to listen to what I believe, and you tell me what I believe. And until you are willing to have a dialogue and actually listen to what I believe, this can't move forward. So what I'm doing is I'm here to get basic evidence that you and others are unwilling to have dialogue. So I can take the next step to show that.
So just hold that thought. I'm willing to stand here and talk with you.
I don't want to stand here and talk because that's a distraction of my engagement here. We can do that later. We can contact me later. You're not going to distract me. Nope. Olympia Chud, I do want dialogue. We can have it at another time because right now you're trying to pull me from the group.
No.
Because I'm a loud voice. No, you're an activist. I know you know shit. I know you know shit. No, ma'am, no. You're a lot of things.
You don't have to like what you like.
Shut the fuck up. That's not going to happen. So I see
What happened today? Freedom of speech, bro.
We have the right to protect it.
If you don't like it, well then.
You have the right to walk out here with
We're over here not shutting anything down, dude.
We have the right to
I'm
protect
here
the children.
voicing my opinion. I am here voicing my First Amendment right to speak. Just like you guys have the right to speak, I have the right to speak.
Ma'am, frankly, you don't get to control us, ma'am. It's nice to call for peace, but
Stop the firing from
I believe it.
That's what I said. I told them, like, call your dog back if you don't want this sort of thing to escalate. Because we never went to your side. He came to ours.
But when I show up and they're having breaches,
They don't want to have a conversation. No.
They've established that they won't talk.
So I'm very curious about this thing you said that's a link to this guy's paper.
Yeah, the paper is called Drag Pedagogy.
Okay, I'm going to write this down.
Yeah. It's published in 2021.
Yeah, I'm here because this is not okay. Don't groom the children. As adults,
You'll find two, when you have that written down, I'll tell you. If there's a few resources that talk about it. One says that our argument, there's a lot of people trying to keep our arguments about it out from the view of people that are progressives. So there's stories about it and about how we approach it that are incorrect. So the real analysis from people like me isn't going to be found in the takedowns of the opponents of Drag Queen Story Hour. You can read the paper yourself. It's kind of thick, but there's...
I'm fairly well.
Yeah. So you read it, and it's not. It's based on trying to make an impression on children through the performative aspects of drag and interrogating the norms of society and family structure and tradition, and by doing that with young children at an early age, to start getting them to have the generative concepts, the concepts you find like social emotional learning and all those types of education models.
Speed up the experience they're already having by being surrounded by people of all genders.
That's one way of saying it, but that misses the point that's in the paper. In the paper it says it intends to not bring people that are LGBTQ into the fold of normal society, but intends to interrogate the norms of society and break them apart to accommodate the fringe of LGBTQ, which means it is a direct conflict with traditional ideas of age appropriateness with education. And so the basic idea, even if you're really pro drag queen and pro LGBTQ, if you're bringing this to really young kids, that's not in line with what we know about early childhood education and what's appropriate. It's not just teaching them to accept gay people and trans people. It's teaching them to look at adult themes through a childhood view, and it is not, there's a lot smarter people breaking it down, but.
And the purpose of these shows is to, the paper was written by somebody who...
Little Hot Mess, which is a drag queen who is one of the founders, and someone else, I forget their name, is someone else who's, I think, like a sociologist.
Well, I will look it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would not call at least 10% of the population exactly the fringes, but that's your...
Well, it would say, I guess the formulation would be, it's directly trying to say, we don't want to be accepted in your normal society. We want to break your normal society so you accept us within it. But that means that people who have hard boundaries, people who don't want to let gay people in their church, that's like you don't get to put your foot in my door, and there are the progressive movements brushing up against some doors right now. And
so your definition of normal society is?
No, it's whatever they can define as norms, because it brings in queer theory. So it's interrogating the norms that are stable and the kind of poles in which people organize themselves. And so to destabilize them and move them leftward through a revolutionary process.
I see.
Yes.
And those norms have worked for people who are solidly entrenched in those and don't dare question their own sexuality.
If you come to my door and insist to put your foot into my door with that, that's when the problem starts.
So you're more in favor of a polarized?
No, the forced effort of putting your foot in my door is, so I'm using an analogy of putting your foot in my door, saying that there's no respect for the boundaries in place. So that there's an idea that it is a right of a trans person or a gay person to go and receive communion in a Catholic church. That would be a right for them to do that. And that's not true. That's against Catholic doctrine and Catholic teaching. I'm not Catholic, but I respect their boundaries, and I wouldn't go in and try to break open their paradigm.
I'm not going to waste time raising the question of how many priests have molested children in Catholic.
So that's not even addressing my issue. So there are paradigms that are stable and normal in some people's lives, and queer theory, along with drag queen story hour, seeks to break them without consent.
And set standards that are highly questionable. Because they have been proven over and over and over again.
You may look at the Catholics as nothing but abuse, but I look at them as a 1,000-year, it's like a 1,000-year stable paradigm.
In which there has been a whole hell of a lot of abuse.
The answer of that is not to forcefully interrogate it with queer theory. If that's your answer, then there will be boundary lines drawn, and we get things like this. The boundaries will be hard, and they're coming soon. And people are going to say, you will not enter my church. You will not enter my home. And
they already say that.
No, they say that. But a lot of people don't really mean it because they don't do the work to enforce the boundaries. And conservatives are losing so much territory because they make concessions. And so the people who don't make concessions are deemed terrorists. And then there is an ability to go after them and isolate them from the group of conservatives and the people who don't accept these transgressions upon the boundaries. And so the people who have firm boundaries are being isolated from the broader conservative movement. And so we're going to form ourselves up and come into these spaces trying to bring the light of truth, taking the phenomena and trying to bring up the underlying dynamics to the surface so people can understand. This right here, I've had a lot of people say they don't want to listen to me. So I come to these things to document the unwillingness to enter into dialogue so I can proceed further with showing people that there is an unwillingness on one side to have dialogue, where there's an open willingness and eagerness to have dialogue on my side.
Including me and one of those people who's
Yes, you're one person, there's about 40 people here. I have been approached aggressively once already, and I've had someone on the far right tell me they were going to shoot me along with everyone here on the internet. So, you know, one person doesn't change things. And you can make a change with one person, but that doesn't, the exception does not prove what I'm saying wrong. There is a dynamic here of not listening to us and not taking corrective information in, and I believe it's because there's a narrative about who we are that has to be upheld, and it's built kind of by a network of hoaxes, and if you knock a couple out, it kind of still holds itself together, but if you start working it with really interrogative truth seeking, then you start breaking that paradigm. So.
I have to say that I'm not seeing hearing a whole lot from what you're saying.
That's okay.
That is breaking down that image.
No, that's fine, because I'm just here talking to you right now.
Yeah.
This is just a talk conversation. You're not seeing much. You're just having a conversation. So in your perspective, what could you be seeing any more than this conversation? So how could you say I'm not seeing a lot of that type of change coming from you?
Because of what you're quoting.
Oh. So it's the direction in my perspective in which you make your judgment. Because I'm of this ilk, you say, well, I don't really see value there.
That tells me where you're getting your information.
Oh, so the information that I present is not the thing you're looking at. You're trying to identify where I'm getting information. Okay, cool. It's a lot of dishonesty.
That too.
Yep. So you're not engaging with me in dialogue. You're going to pretend you can. It's called sophistry, man. You're a sophist, man.